What's going on, guys? It's John, and today I got a cool thing for you. We're going to be building this, my new computer. We're going to go over what components go into it and how to actually put it all together. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, but before we start building, we got to go over some of the major components of this build. So first off, we're going to be using the i7 9700K CPU from Intel, the MPG Z390M motherboard from MSI, the Radeon RX Vega 56 Strix graphics card from Asus, and finally the Evolve Micro ATX case from Fantex. Alright, let's start building. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is to put the CPU into the motherboard. So to do that, you pull the lever here, which will undo the latch for the case, and then lift the case up. And when we open up the CPU here, you'll see that there's a notch here and a notch here. And those are going to line up with the notches right here and on the other side. So when we take this out of the case, make sure you hold it on the edges so that it doesn't, touch any of the back electric part. And then we're just going to drop it right in there. It lines up right with the notches and it sits well. And then when we pull this down and then pull this, it'll pop the top right off, which we then put this down and our CPU is in place. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put the RAM into the motherboard. So there's these tabs on this edge here. I've already popped 2 of them, but you just press them down to unlock. Some motherboards both will click, but on this one it's just the one. And then you're going to look at the notch here, line that up with the notch right here, line it up, put them each in, and it's going to go hard. And you just press down until you get a click. And that's all you do. I'll put the rest in on my own. I'll talk to you guys again after. Alright guys, we're going to put the CPU in for real this time. So we're going to be putting this IO shield right up against there, and then putting in the CPU on these rivets. And there's 2 more down here you can't see. I'll show you guys the finished product when I'm done. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry that took a little bit. I had to do a little trial and error here. I had to move our water cooling radiator from here to here. And since the water cooling isn't necessary for building a computer, I'm going to make a separate video on how to install that. But just for time's sake, I'm not going to delve into that today. And then also with our motherboard, we had to screw in about 8 different screws to get that to sit firmly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the top back on our case here, and then we're going to put on the power supply, and we're actually getting pretty close to done. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is put the power supply into the computer. This is probably the most straightforward part of the entire process. We're just going to put this block right in here, slide in, press flush against the back here, and then I'll add a picture, but there's just 4 screws that you have to screw on the back, make sure it's flush, and that'll also provide your power switch. Alright, see you in a second. Alright guys, and while I'm back here, I'm just going to throw in the hard drives as well. So for a 3.5-inch drive, it actually these trays pull out from under here that you actually just line up the holes. These pop out like this. And you just press them down and they'll lock into place. And then you screw 2 screws into either side here. For a 2.5-inch drive, they have these slides right here that pop right off. You drop the drive in place, screw it in, and then slide it right back on. Alright, I'm going to take care of the drives, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, so the last important thing we have to do with this build is we're going to have to what's called cable managing, which is all these different cords. We have to decide where they're going to go through these little grommets here to plug into the actual things on the other side, especially all these which provide the power, plus any input stuff that you want to plug into your motherboard. Now this is mainly personal choice, however you want to do it. And this could also take the longest amount of time depending on how well you want to have it done. So I'm gonna go away, finish this up, and then show you guys how I manage it when I'm done. Alright guys, so I just finished the cable management, some other small things. I put all the fans back in place and kind of connected everything, as well as put the reservoir back on the CPU there. So you can see what I've done. I've brought the power cords out, or the PCI cords out for the graphics card. I plugged in my water cooler, and then I did all the little things, like I plugged in my fans that go here, and all the USB and everything else down here. Now every CPU is different, so all of you are going to have to actually read your manual to figure out where they should go, but they're all usually pretty simple 3 to 4 pin plugins, and they're always labeled on the motherboard as well. Alright, let's see the back. Alright guys, so real quick, this is the back of the case after I've done my cable managing. As you can see, you can still only see the 2.5-inch drive there, but when we pull this back, you can see that it's all connected, all set up. It's all using these straps here, so you keep them down flat so the back can close. And it's all just about working your cables, knowing how thick they are and how to really work them around so that they all fit nice and snug back there. Alright guys, we're on the home stretch here. All we have left to do is to put in the graphics card. So the graphics card is very simple to how we put in the RAM. You have this one slot here with the tab to push down when you want to unlock it. So we're just going to put the graphics card in here, line the edge up with that slot, press down till you hear a click, and you should be good to go. Alright guys, one last thing. Whenever you put the graphics card in, you're going to have to unscrew some things here that have shields to block all the empty slots. So when you take those out, you put the graphics card back in. Make sure to screw those screws back in to really secure the graphics card. It's not wobbly at all when it's in there. So everything looks good. Let's plug it in and see how she looks. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today. If you want to build your own, parts are going to be in the description if you want to buy any of those. I had a lot of fun with this build and I think you will too. Alright guys, till next time.